Hello there and welcome. This is going to be the start of our space exploration journey. In this series, I'm going to play this mod package, the official one that you can download by the name Space Exploration Mod Package. Here we go. You download that, you activate with all those things in the list, and that's what we're playing here. The only things that I took liberty of adding into for this series are the max rate calculator, because that's just a tool that I love using, and alongside that we're running Factory Planner, Fill for Me, and Bottleneck, and Fear of the Dark, because otherwise we wouldn't be, or Afraid of the Dark it's called, otherwise we wouldn't be seeing anything in the series. So, I have already selected a seed that we're going to play, and it's going to be this one. I put it also in the description box of this video series, so if you want to play along. Apart from that, standard setting, spiders are activated. That's the first time for me, and we're going to get started with that one. So in the past, I tried to tackle this with Factorio 2 enabled, but that was just way more than I could handle. So here we go for the pure space exploration experience. And before I get started, I just want to mention real quickly that in the comments down there, you'll see a link to my new Let's Play gaming channel, where I will publish a lot of new gaming videos once that thing hits 1,000 subscribers. While I'm recording this, we are currently at few and 30, so I really need your help, guys, because once this thing hits 1,000 subscribers, I'll be publishing way more gaming content than I did before, because currently, as a full-time content creator, I'm still restricted by YouTube's restrictive policy about publishing many videos a day. Alright, that's being said, let's get finally started here. So, we got the space wreckage start. Typical thing, we can grab ourselves a couple of materials by just control left clicking these things. We got ourselves here, well, it's a bit of wreckage, gives me some iron plate, and here we go. There's a little bit of extras there, but we really don't have much to work with. Our first goals are quite simple as usual. We need to get ourselves a bit of an industry running. We want to get as far as possible each run. I also take the liberty of skipping extremely repetitive or boring sequences. So I'm going to play ahead or, well, edit it accordingly, so that's at least the plan here. So we could use these guys as storage, but the wreckage is juicy iron plating, and at the beginning, well, what can I say? Every bit that I don't need to process is going to be an advantage here. So, let's see, what do we carry around with ourselves? A burner mining drill? Yeah, that's pretty standard. As a cool thing, I start with a burner assembling machine. We do require some stone, though, to get ourselves some extra mining drills. So the environment here is a pretty cool one. We got a small mixed patch at our starting area, and then we got coal, stone, copper, a bit of more stone here and there. So I really appreciate the distribution here. We're gonna have some good fun with that. But the very first thing that we're going to set up is, of course, the very classy burner mining drill per session, but how are we going to get there? Bricks? We do need to do that in a stone furnace. Okay, so we're gonna brick it. Luckily I got these little rocks here that can help me. So that's a cool turn here that we got to produce these guys to... Well, alright. That's a little bit unconventional. But we do require these burner mining drills to help ourselves to infinite coal. You know, the early game things that you require, otherwise things won't work. So we got here, luckily, a lot of engines at our disposal that we can use here. So we get a free nice advantage, so to say, by these starting resources. So in this mod pack, you start in with a lot of burner machines. Due to the fact that we're not running Factorio, though, the iron production will be a lot less tedious than what I've been used to. That's something I'm really looking forward to. We're gonna get ourselves as quick as we can into space. My goal for this series is also to streamline and push forward as fast as possible. So we're gonna get started here now with some classy iron production because, you know, you always need that. The more iron plates we get ourselves, the faster we can leave this sorry place. Good. The age of hand feeding shall begin. So we're going to do the typical things here, expand our industry and get ourselves some iron plates. Let's see, is power production the typical process, or, well, we have burner labs this time. Okay, that's fun. So we got burner labs and we got a burner assembly machine. And practically all the stuff that we do requires bricks here. That's a pretty typical thing. So we ran out of stone to burn. Leads me to the conclusion that I have the feeling that we really do require a stone mining drill rather sooner than later. It's an interesting change for a start. So, with a total of 3 burner assembling machines, I would be actually able to get myself an automated production of science. That's something I'm actually craving for, because here we obviously don't want to hand produce everything, don't we? As a matter of fact, I want to automate things as fast as I can. So we're gonna get ourselves, though, now, first off, a little bit of a miner that produces stone. Because I figured that since bricks are so predominant here, I want to have a steady supply of these right from the get-go. I think I won't be regretting that. So, but I also want to have some copper plate production. It's always a good thing to get that going early on. I don't know how many we'll need early on. In many mod packs where in the vanilla experience you don't need too much copper to begin with. But, you know, many mod packs do differ in this equation. As you see here, we're already starting to run out of stone here. Just like I had expected. So, these guys, though, we're going to hand feed them, of course, you know, because we're... Oh, I actually only need 2 now, I realize. Silly old me. Do we also have the good old burner inserters? Of course we do. Sleeping friend. Alright. Creates 1 friend. I'm gonna try that one out. Biomes. Sleeping friend. Okay, so looks like we got ourselves a companion. My only this is also a very new experience for me, because I actually have only played space exploration in a much, much more complex environment, where, because Factorio really does make things a lot more complicated, and that's I think, an understatement. And I really just underestimate this mod. So, if you come from my previous playthroughs, this time I really want to get further than the last time. But that's always the thing that we're going to aim for, aren't we? So, fuel processing. I want this started as quick as possible, because fuel processing allows me to make my coal more efficient. And that is very, very desirable. So... yeah, we totally need to chop down some stones here as well. I see myself not getting enough stone in. Isn't that nice? That's a very untypical early game issue. I really like that. So, but luckily these large rocks, they usually not only provide you with stone, but also with a bit of coal. Really like that. So these guys will be a really nice... starter supply for us, because I will now still upscale my iron plate production first and foremostly, because I just know how these things work, you know? It's just one of the most important resources out there. Faster we get it, the faster we can expand in any aspect. Although I'm really shocked how important stone seems to be here as well. I like that. Stone is a underused resource in vanilla, in my opinion. So we're going to expand the daisy chain of coal miners. They're just that good early on. And obviously, we ran out of gas here. Oh man, those burner assemblers are just hilarious. In a good way. So, and we're running out of power left and right. So, sand processing, not really anything we'll require. Submachine gun, yes please, because we got biters activated. And while this mod pack, as you see, it's quite generous in terms of biter neighborhood, but they'll come sooner or later. Luckily, we have a lot of trees around us as well. That should give us a bit of a head start. So, what do I need for the fuel processor? I just need some bricks. Beautiful. So this will be a really huge upgrade now early on, because we just can now upgrade our coal into something much, much better. So I think I'm actually going to invest here even into some automation. There we go. This processed fuel is just better than coal. So we get 10 megajoule, and well, how was the quota again? So, or is it still better? At least in the past it was better. I'm not sure if it is still better. This doesn't really look better. Huh. No. I don't think that I'm upgrading here anything. Jeez. So that looks, to me, as if this would be mostly interesting for vehicles that can drive faster with that. Because apart from that, well, we're gonna let one experimental run faster. So, 50 coal, how much does that yield? This'll do the science for us. Okay. So many unexpected little problems. Love it. So we're gonna see how productive this is at the end of the day, this way. And, oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. That's just what we need. This'll get our science somewhere. I mean, we're not sciencing much currently, but it's still something that we can rely on, and that's pretty good. So let's see, we have produced a grand total of 22 barrels out of 50 pieces of coal. So 50 pieces of coal have, can't put that on a calculator actually, to give you guys more of a, so we have 4 MJ on the coal, so that means we have 200 MJ in total. So this stuff is, yeah, we do upgrade. Okay, I was just a little bit. So we gain a grand total of 220 MJ out of 50, so we upgrade this thing by 10%. So that means all the coal belongs into the processor now, because it's just a more effective way of doing things. For a moment I was afraid that things worked differently in this mod pack, but they don't. What a relief. So that also means I'm going to automate things a tad bit further, because, you know, this is a game about automation, isn't it? So we're going to get ourselves this entire coal thing automated in so far as we are only gathering that coal furthermore, and then we're redistributing proper stuff. This also has the benefit that my Kill for Me mod does no longer fling coal into the machines where I actually don't want it to. So, we're going to put a second stone miner in here. Because I do realize that we obviously do require more than that. But we're already in a really, really good spot. So let's see technologically where we ought to be going. Oh, look at that. So we're going to research logistics. We're going to research electricity. Electricity. Oh yeah, that's going to be the next pot after military. But I'm actually down for researching guns first, especially when biters are activated. Never hurts to be prepared. So 50 red science packs though. That is quite a lot. So, oh, well, what are we going to do? So we're also restricted from... We're not allowed to handcraft these. Okay, what we're going to do is quite simple. We're going to make more machines crafting these. So let's see. Max rate calculator tells me that we are... Yeah, we're capable of supporting way more machines with this one assembler. So we're going to make this a little bit of a makeshift machinery, because none of the parts of this whole thing here will be lasting for a longer time. That's pretty obvious. But we also do need more machinery. Especially copper is obviously much more needed early on. I really like these. This is a steady complication of the early game status here. That's very, very lovely. We definitely need to automate the fuel production at some point, properly that is. But I mean, or actually, well, so many things to require my attention right now. But I do think one of the best things to do is to rush towards electricity as fast as possible, because burner machines just do require so much more logistical effort, you know? Sure, they do have the advantage that you don't need to put that much attention into it. You could argue that this is a straight-up advantage of these. And I'd even agree with that, but at the same point, electricity is requiring so much less permanent attention. Okay, so we're going to set ourselves up more copper production here. Sweet, I like that. But I mean, we are already on a somewhat effective point, I'd say. Especially with the processed fuel running. I feel like we're doing a great job here. So, oh, speaking about fuel. Well, looks like we're going to fling a little bit of coal around still. World ain't as perfect as I'd like it to be, huh? So we're going to feed this little beauty here with a bit of extra there. And, well, we got transport belts producible. That's a pretty good thing. Transport belts are pretty heavy here in terms of production, because they always require an engine. And an engine requires a gear wheel, so production has been lengthened here a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. So where's the smartest point to expand now? It's for me the big difficult question. I think in the production of these little guys here lies the most effective point where we can expand. So we're going to loot those gear wheels here. So this is a really a very makeshift complex. But I realized that we actually can wing it like that, because it's going to speed up everything here at a very, very low cost. Just need to put up a bit of extra heavy lifting here. I mean, I do appreciate the burner inserters in so far, as they provide an easy fix, so to say. Of course, I could now distribute these as well. And you know what? We're going to do this. So there we go. Bit of extra automation here. So we finally have electricity. So how does this work here? We have a burner turbine generator, which will get us 2 megawatt. All right, we got electric inserters and we got electric motors. So that does not provide us with electric machines. All right, so we're gonna go for this one next. Because, you know, otherwise I'll be still unable to produce things properly. Because we're still hanging on those burner assembling machines. And my plan so far was to use these burner assemblers only as long as I have to, you know. Once I can get past that, I'm not gonna use these anymore. At least that's the plan. Alright. Still hand-feeding copper and stuff, but, you know. I think automation in the early game always has its flaws. But we're already doing a great job here, in my humble opinion. So let's get ourselves one of those turbine generators. Here again, copper flows into this mix much earlier than I'm used to. I like that. At the same time, let's keep expanding those burner labs. Because I really feel as if we're best off with pushing through this as fast as possible. And that means expanding these machines a tad bit more. So, we're gonna give this little guy a better supply of his iron plates, I'd say. Big issue that I got here is also that what I do here is slow. These inserters, they are slow. They're working really crappy, to put it into less friendly words. They're just not keeping up with the capacity of the machines. Alright, but I'd say we're making fantastic progress here. Relatively fast, if I dare say so. Biggest problem here is still that automation is a little bit of a far-fetched goal. But not that much longer, I think. So let's automate this little guy here as well. You know, game about automation and stuff. And now we can just dump the stone in here. So I'm actually quite proud of myself. Usually I do the handcrafting stuff way longer. This time I'm actually down with the business quite quickly, I'd say. I just want to get into the electric mining and the bigger scale of things ASAP. Because, you know, I just know that we're not going to use these things anymore later. We're going to frown on these. Like, skeptical while we ever, and be like skeptical while we ever did this way, you know? But, yeah, we're doing fine progress. I don't think I need to expand on this any further. I think we're We're hitting the spot now. So, for example, here it's the same thing. I would need many, many more inserters than I have here to get this machine working at its full capacity. It's working damn slow. It'd be actually better if I'd be dumping the coal manually here into these slots rather than the other way around. It's tragic, but that's early game. So we got automation done, though. Isn't that less tragic? So that means we got ourselves now ways and means produce energy and ways and means to transform that energy into assemblers. Wonderful. That's just what I've been waiting for. Okay, what's the next step to research? Is it logistics or is it electronics? No, it's electric mining, obviously. So, good thing that I did expand so hard on everything here, because I do realize it does pay off so much. Okay, so we can now assemble electrically, but we cannot mine electrically. That's a shame, isn't it? So, we're going to get ourselves some extra turbines here. And now I gotta consider how we're doing things. The daisy chaining has advantages and disadvantages. But I think I'm going to work with what I got here. So, I want to electrify business here as quick as possible, so let's do this. The thing about these electric machines is also that they are much faster, or are they? No, they are not, actually. What a shame. Okay, but at least I don't need to refuel them then. Alright. I think the burner assemblers received an upgrade since the last time I visited them, because I had them somehow logged into my memory as way worse than regular assemblers. Alright. Very sorry, Mr. Assembler. Okay. But once we've reached electric mining, I think we're at the spot where things can really take off. So I'm going to cut this episode here at this point, where there's only a little bit of extra work left for the electric mining. And I figured that we're just going to continue next time with from the point on where I got the electric mining down. Because I feel like we don't have to get here for that last part. I don't want to expand the labs anymore because they will become obsolete. And next time we're going to start electrifying things. So, thanks for watching, my dear friends. I really appreciate having you around. Leave me your comments, let me know how you like things, and leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing. That's the easiest way to support this channel without paying a dime. And of course, I mentioned it in the intro, but I wanted to mention it again. In the links down there, not in the links, in the comments down there, the second gaming channel, once it hits 1,000 subscribers, more content will come regularly, and if you like my gameplays, it'll be exactly what you want. And that being said, thanks so much for still hanging out here while I'm rambling about my projects. Hope you have a great day, and see you all next time.